The most successful pirate who ever lived captured 400 ships in 3 years. The British Royal Navy hunted him longer than they hunted Blackbeard. They feared him more than they feared Blackbeard. They built warships specifically to kill him. His name was Bartholomew Roberts. The crews who sailed under him called him the Black Captain. The day he died, the Golden Age of Piracy died with him. You were on the deck when it happened. This is what it was actually like, rank by rank, to sail under the last great pirate. You start at the bottom. The bottom is where most of you stayed. Rank 1, the forced man. You are 22. You did not choose to become a pirate. You were a sailor on a merchant ship out of Bristol that the Black Captain took 3 weeks ago off the coast of West Africa. He gave your captain a choice: sign his men over to the pirate articles, or watch his ship burn with the men still inside it. Your captain signed. You did not have a vote. This is how more than half of his crew came aboard. They call you forced men. The word is in the official Royal Navy records. If a Royal Navy ship ever catches you, you will tell the court you were forced. You will hope they believe you. Most courts do not. You sleep in the lower hold near the captured cargo, 3/4 of a share when the ship takes a prize, the lowest pay on the vessel. You have not been allowed on shore in 3 months. Forced men get watched. Your job is everything no one else wants: scrubbing the deck, pumping the bilges, hauling the lines when the boatswain calls all hands, loading powder. You are the back of the ship that no one looks at. You have not killed anyone. You have not boarded a vessel under arms. You stay below when the fighting happens, and you come up after to do the cleaning. The blood you wash off the deck is not yours, yet. The first time you see the Black Captain up close, he is standing on the quarterdeck at dawn, tall, dressed in red velvet. A diamond cross hangs around his neck, taken from a Portuguese ship 2 months before you came aboard. He does not drink. The rest of the crew drinks until they cannot stand. He drinks tea. He carries 2 pistols on a silk sash across his chest. He never raises his voice. The men who serve him say he has never been seen afraid. You are afraid of him on sight. He calls a council on your 14th day aboard. The articles are read aloud to the whole crew. 11 rules, voted on by every man, even you. Article 1. Every man has a vote in affairs of moment. Article 3. No man shall game at cards or dice for money. Article 6. No boy or woman shall be allowed amongst them. If any man is found seducing one and carrying her aboard disguised, he shall suffer death. Article 8. No striking one another aboard. Quarrels shall be ended on shore at sword and pistol. You vote yes on every article. The forced men always vote yes. It is the only way to stop being a forced man. 6 weeks later, the ship takes a small Spanish merchant. You are sent up with the boarding party for the first time. You do not draw blood. You watch the men around you do it. You take a small cup off the captain's table when no one is looking. Pewter. Not even silver. You do not know why you take it. You will keep it for the rest of your life. That night, the Black Captain calls you to the quarterdeck. He tells you that he has watched you. He says you are no longer a forced man. You are now signed. You did not sign anything. You do not correct him. You did not volunteer to become a pirate. But the man who decided you were one made the decision for you. And in the eyes of every court in Europe, that decision is final. If you survive the next 2 years, you will be the most hunted criminal of your generation. If you do not survive, you will be one of 254 men hanged together, the largest pirate execution in recorded history. You have been on this ship for 98 days. The Black Captain has another 755 days to live. Rank 2, the able seaman. You are 23. You sleep in the forecastle now. You eat at the same table as the rest of the crew. You receive a full share of every prize. You are paid more in 3 months than you would have made in 3 years on a merchant vessel. You no longer wash blood off the deck. The new forced men do that. The black captain runs his ship differently than every other pirate captain in the Caribbean. There is no rum on board after sunset. The lights go out at 10. You sleep when he tells you to sleep. You wake when he tells you to wake. This sounds harsh. It is. It is also why his men live longer than other pirate crews. The other crews drink themselves into ambushes. The black captain's crew is sober at 3 in the morning, when the British come. You do not realize yet how rare this discipline is. You have learned to fight. You have killed 3 men. You do not remember their faces. You remember the weight of the cutlass after. The crew is settled into a routine. Take a ship. Sail to a quiet bay. Repair the hull. Distribute loot. Hunt again. You have been part of 17 captures since you became assigned man. The black captain's count is now over 200 ships in his career. No pirate in history has ever taken this many. The Royal Navy knows this. The Royal Navy is hunting harder than ever. You make a friend on this ship. A Welshman named Lewis, signed 2 months after you. He plays the fiddle. He is the only person on board the black captain allows to play music after sunset. The black captain pays Lewis a half share extra to play. The crew dances on the deck under the stars while the captain stands at the rail with his tea, watching the horizon. You will think about those nights for the rest of your life. They are the only good memories you have from this ship. One night Lewis tells you he is afraid, not of the Royal Navy, of the black captain. You ask why. Lewis says the black captain has been talking about Africa, the Gold Coast. He wants to take a fleet down there. He wants to hunt slave ships and capture the gold of the Royal African Company. Lewis says no pirate has ever done that and lived. He says the Royal Navy has a permanent station off the African coast, specifically to protect the slave trade. He says if the black captain goes there, none of you are coming back. You tell Lewis the black captain has never lost a battle, Lewis says yet. That is the first time anyone on this ship has used that word about the black captain. Rank 3, the border. You are 24. You are first across the ropes now. The black captain personally selects the boarding party for every raid. You are on it for every raid. You have killed 11 men. You count them now. Some pirates do not. You do. You have a flintlock pistol on each hip, a cutlass on your belt, a small knife in your boot. You are good with all 3. The summer of 1721 is the deadliest summer in the history of the Caribbean. The black captain takes 42 ships in 3 months. Some of them are taken without a single shot fired. The merchant captains see his black flag and surrender immediately. The flag is his own design. A tall man stands on 2 skulls labeled ABH and AMH, a Barbadian head, a Martiniquan head. He hates the islands of Barbados and Martinique because their governors hunted him. The flag is a promise. He will drink no toast with any captain from those islands. He will hang any of them he captures. You have seen him hang 4. The black captain does not bluff. In July, the black captain captures a Royal Navy ship called the Onslow. He renames it the Royal Fortune. It becomes his new flagship. You are now sailing on a captured Royal Navy vessel under a black flag. The Royal Navy considers this a personal insult. The Admiralty meets in London. They decide a new ship must be built specifically to hunt the black captain. That ship is His Majesty's sloop Swallow, Captain Challoner Ogle, 50 guns, 240 men, designed to outrun any pirate vessel in the Atlantic. HMS Swallow leaves Portsmouth in August 1721. It is hunting 1 man. You do not know any of this. You think you are winning. The black captain announces in October that the fleet will sail for the Gold Coast of Africa. 3 ships, 270 men, the largest pirate fleet ever assembled in the Atlantic. Lewis comes to you the night before you leave. He says he is leaving the crew. He has hidden gold in a cave on Hispaniola. He plans to disappear. You tell him you will go with him. He shakes his head. He says, "No, you will not. The Black Captain has chosen you. He has not chosen me. You cannot leave." That is the last conversation you have with Lewis. He disappears the next morning, before dawn. You never find out what happened to him. You hope he made it. The Black Captain is taking 3 ships and 270 men to the most heavily defended waters in the world. The Royal African Company runs that coast. The British Navy patrols it constantly because the slave trade is more valuable to the empire than every Caribbean sugar plantation combined. HMS Swallow has been waiting for him for 6 months. You are sailing into a trap that was built specifically for the man you serve. The Black Captain has 4 months to live. You do not know that. He does not know that either. Rank 4, the Master-at-Arms. You are 25. You are responsible for the weapons of the crew. Every musket, every pistol, every cutlass, every grenade. You inspect them weekly. You drill the boarders in close-quarters combat. You decide who gets which firearm. You report directly to the quartermaster, who reports to the Black Captain. You are now one of the 7 officers on the Royal Fortune. The Gold Coast is hot. The fleet arrives in January 1722. The Black Captain begins capturing ships immediately. Slave ships, merchant ships. A Royal African Company vessel called the King Solomon, which the crew loots and sets free. The slave ships present a problem you have not faced before. The captives in the holds. Some of the crew want to free them. Some want to sell them. The Black Captain rules that the captives will be left aboard their original ships and the captains released after paying tribute. This decision saves dozens of lives. It also slows the fleet down significantly. You agree with it. So does most of the crew. It is the slowest you have ever seen the Black Captain operate. You see HMS Swallow on the horizon for the first time on February 5th, 1722. You do not know yet that it is HMS Swallow. You think it is a Portuguese merchant. So does the Black Captain. So does the lookout. The ship is disguised. Its gun ports are closed. Its colors are wrong, on purpose. The Black Captain orders one of his ships, the Ranger, to give chase. He stays behind with the Royal Fortune to deal with several other prizes nearby. You watch the Ranger sail away over the horizon. You do not see her again for 2 days. When the Ranger returns, she is the captured Ranger. HMS Swallow is right behind her, no longer disguised. Gun ports open, colors flying. The Black Captain understands what has happened in 3 seconds. His face does not change. He gives the order to clear the deck for action. He puts on his red velvet coat. He pins the diamond cross to his chest. He picks up his 2 pistols. You are watching from the quarterdeck. You hear him say one sentence to himself. He says a merry life and a short one. That is the motto he has lived by for 3 years. It is also a prediction. Today is the short part. You take your position at the gun deck. Your job is to make sure every gun fires. The 2 ships close at dawn. February 10th, 1722. Off Cape Lopez, modern Gabon. Most of the crew is hungover from the night before. The Black Captain forbids drinking before battle, but on the night they captured the King Solomon, the men celebrated. He let them. This will turn out to be the only mistake he makes in his entire career. The Black Captain is wearing his finest clothes, his diamond cross, his red velvet, his silk sash. Bah. Bah. HMS Swallow is closing fast. His crew is hungover. You have 90 seconds left of the world you have known for 3 years. Rank 5, the Witness. HMS Swallow opens fire at long range. The first broadside cuts across the deck of the Royal Fortune. Splinters fly. 3 men die in the first 10 seconds. The black captain stands on the quarterdeck unmoved. He is giving orders. He is calm. He is the same man you have served for 2 years. The second broadside fires. One ball of grapeshot, a small iron ball, not even an inch across, strikes him in the throat. He falls. He does not get up. You see it happen from the gun deck. You stop loading. You stand there with the powder cartridge in your hand. The crew sees their captain fall. The crew falters. The crew stops fighting effectively in less than a minute. The quartermaster, a man named James Scarm, takes command. He gives an order that no other pirate has ever given. He orders the body of the black captain to be thrown overboard, weighted, with his weapons, with his diamond cross, so the British cannot capture him alive or dead. His own men do it. The most successful pirate who ever lived sinks into the sea off the coast of Africa, wearing red velvet. 9. The Royal Navy never recovers a body. The Royal Fortune surrenders 90 minutes later. You are taken alive. So is most of the crew. So are the men on the captured Ranger. 262 pirates are now prisoners of the Royal Navy. You are taken in chains to Cape Coast Castle, the British colonial fortress on the Gold Coast, the largest slave-trading fortress in West Africa. You are held in a stone cell. You can hear the ocean through the wall. You can also hear the cries of the African captives in the cells below you. The trial begins on March 28th, 1722. The trial of the Roberts crew is the largest pirate trial ever recorded. 262 men are tried over 6 weeks. 74 are acquitted on the grounds that they were forced men. The court believes them. You will not be one of them. 70 are sentenced to a kind of indentured servitude in the African mines. Most will die there. 17 are sent to England in chains for further trial. 54 are sentenced to death. You are one of the 54. The court calls you to stand. The judge asks if you have anything to say in your defense. You think about telling them you were forced. You think about telling them you took the cup but never drew blood until you were promoted. You think about Lewis and the night he disappeared. You say nothing. You are sentenced to hang. The hangings take 3 days. The British execute the 54 pirates in batches. They build a long gallows on the beach below Cape Coast Castle. The bodies are left hanging for the African slave traders and the British naval crews to see. The intention is clear. This is what happens to pirates. This is what happens to anyone who challenges the empire on the open water. The Black Captain's crew is the last great pirate crew of the Golden Age. Within 3 years, no major pirate captain operates in the Caribbean. Within 5 years, the era is over. You are not hanged. On the second day of the executions, you are pulled from the queue. A British officer reviews your file. He says your name was on the list of forced men in the original Bristol merchant ship's records, the records they recovered from the Black Captain's cabin. The officer tells you that you should have said this in court. You tell him you forgot. The officer signs a paper that commutes your death sentence to 7 years of indentured servitude on a Royal African Company station. You serve 5 of the 7 before yellow fever takes the entire colony, and the British abandon the post. You walk down the beach in the chaos. You sign onto a Portuguese merchant vessel as a deckhand. It takes you 6 years to get back to Europe. You make landfall in Lisbon in 1729. You are 32 years old. You have not seen Bristol since you were 22. You do not go back to Bristol. They have your name on a list there. You go north. You settle in a small Welsh fishing village. You give a different name. You marry a widow there in 1731. You bury her in 1768. You raise 3 children. None of them ever know. You die in 1774. You are 77 years old. You outlived the Black Captain by 52 years. The day you die, your eldest son is going through a small wooden chest you kept beside your bed for 43 years. Inside the chest, there is one item, a small pewter cup, not silver, Not valuable. Plain, pewter. You took it from a Spanish merchant ship in 1720. You were 22 years old. You did not know why you took it. You kept it for 54 years. You never told anyone why. Before the Mast. Next time, the Republic of Pirates. Nassau, 1716. Subscribe. The tide is turning.